Good morning and welcome to Axis Direct Opening Bell, a quick pre-market briefing with key global cues, overnight trends, and market-moving insights to keep you ahead. We'll start with the global markets. Overnight in the US, the S&P 500 fell 0.3% and the Nasdaq slipped 0.6% amid AI-led concerns, while the Dow edged up 0.1% to a record close of 50,188. In Asia, markets opened higher despite the cautious US cues, with investors tracking softer China inflation expectations. Australia's ASX 200 rose 0.9% in the early trade, while Japanese markets are closed today for a public holiday. In India, Nifty closed at 25,935 yesterday, gaining 68 points, whereas Bank Nifty closed at 60,626, down 43 points. Nifty formed a doji candlestick, reflecting indecision near the crucial psychological resistance of 26,000. This zone is a confluence of the highest call writing base for both weekly and monthly expiry and the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement near 26,027. A decisive breakout above 26,000 could trigger short covering and add fresh momentum. The near-term setup remains bullish as long as Nifty holds the bullish gap between 25,780 and 25,704. For today, the 26,000 to 26,030 zone will act as immediate resistance, followed by an upside target of 26,200. On the downside, the 25,800 to 25,700 band is expected to provide support. Overall, the structure stays positive as long as Friday's low at 25,492 remains protected. Meanwhile, Nifty futures gained for the second consecutive day to close at 25,986, gaining 70 points with a decline in OI by 1.3%, indicating short covering. In contrast, Bank Nifty futures closed marginally lower at 60,704, losing 24 points with a drop in OI by 1.1%, signaling mild long unwinding. FIIs continued an inflow of 69 crore rupees in the cash market, taking cumulative net inflows to 4,965 crore rupees, while the long-short ratio jumped to 0.22 against 0.19. FIIs in derivatives are easing bearish hedge, reflecting positive sentiment. Retail traders flipped bearish, selling index calls and buying puts. Meanwhile, prop desks leaned bullish, selling puts and cutting back their call shorts. Volatility eased, with India RIX cooling 4.3% to 11.6, signaling stabilizing sentiment. Futures premiums edged up slightly in Nifty by 2 points, while Bank Nifty surged 19 points. PCR strengthened to 1.17 for Nifty and 1.05 for Bank Nifty post-weekly expiry. Rupee got stronger by 8 paise to 90.68. Sectorally, media led with gains of 2.4%, while pharma was weak, falling 0.36%. In F&O space, BSE gained 6.3%, while Aurobindo Pharma slipped 6%, topping losers. On commodities, spot gold traded with volatility and declined marginally by 0.7% to $5,024, hovering near a two-week high as recent US data reinforced expectations of a more accommodative Federal Reserve. Ongoing US-Iran tensions continued to support safe haven demand despite limited diplomatic progress. Spot silver fell over 3% as prices consolidated ahead of key US jobs and inflation data. January non-farm payrolls are due Wednesday, with economists expecting 70,000 job additions, followed by CPI data on Friday. WTI crude oil edged down 0.36% to $63.87 as markets awaited clarity on Iran and Russia, along with US economic data and inventory reports. Investors are also tracking India's Russian crude purchases following a US-India trade deal linked to a freeze on Russian oil imports. That's it for today. Please note that this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial advice. Please refer to our website for the full disclaimer. Thank you and see you in the next episode. Investments in securities markets are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.